And our next guest on the Rink Shrinks podcast, our original guest, 283 episodes later, we have Brian Boyle, now retired. He's working, does an unbelievable job on the TV with the NHL Network as well as the MSG Network. So, Bri, I mean, it's been a while.
It's been a while. I've been hosted 2 other podcasts as well, so I guess you guys wanted me to get my reps up because, I think I've had 3 kids in the time you had me on.
That sounds about right.
Hey, in the Boyle household, that's not that big of a deal.
No, that's just a calendar year. Great to be back. Thank you guys for having me. Miss you guys.
Yeah, this is awesome. As far as your work that you're putting in, post career, you do a great job. We want to dive right into it. What are your thoughts on? We'll work a little bit backwards. Stanley Cup Finals. Or your kind of overall thoughts on, entertainment value, pace of play, style of plays for both sides. Like, what were you seeing?
Well, let's first thank the Vegas Golden Knights and the Carolina Hurricanes, because you could just see what these guys are putting themselves through.
Yeah.
And we watched, I'll talk about the series. It was unbelievable because of everything that went on, all the different storylines, right? So game 1 happens, Vegas looks good. Game 2, halfway through, we're talking amongst ourselves because on the NHL Network, we do pregame and then we do postgame. So we just kind of hash it out. We're all taking notes, and we're discussing sort of points and remembering who said them. So you don't want to step on anyone's toes, but we're halfway through game 2 thinking Vegas is running away with this thing.
Right.
Probably going to be a sweep. Who knows what happens in Vegas? And then all of a sudden the series gets flipped on its head. And, after 4 games, the series was tied 2-2. The goals were 16-15. And Vegas was up 9-1 in goals in the second period. And in the first and third, Carolina was just blowing the doors off Vegas. Yeah. And at no point could you really think, was anyone convinced, okay, this team is going to run away with it. No. And then, the comeback Carolina had when they were down 4-0 and took it to OT was probably the groundwork and the foundation, how they just got to put the chokehold on Vegas. You could see Vegas was thin. Carlson was back, but then when he got taken out by Walker, who's an absolute torpedo, by the way, that guy was crushing dudes all series long. A lot of those underrated guys on Carolina came through, and Vegas just didn't really have the answer. They were trying, but 112 games later for Jack Eichel, high octane games later, he just it looked like he was sort of out of gas. Which again, hats off to all of them, because you know how banged up they are. Haven't been through it. You're trying to go off adrenaline. You're really not sleeping. The rest doesn't matter. If you want to extend it another few days, it wouldn't really matter. These guys were just empty, and you have to respect them for it. I thought it was an incredible series.
Yeah. No, it really was. It was so entertaining to watch. And to your point, I think that insert of a Brandon Bussey just coming in like a shot of adrenaline, when he entered in that 4-0 game, right? They gives them a third period, they get it back, they get it tied, ultimately lose that game in overtime. But it was just you just saw something there, and they were conditioned for it. And at the end of the day, Carolina was, I haven't seen all of it, but they were a healthy team, healthier maybe than Vegas.
Because I think they used their whole bench. Rod Brind'Amour.
Yeah,
he's the face of the team, and they got some great players. Jordan Staal is obviously incredible. It's an incredible story. A guy like him and the role that he plays, I want that to be celebrated just because of the role I played, right? And bottom 6 guys can make all the difference in the world in terms of a series here and there. And Brendan Bussey was. What a story that is. I think
unbelievable.
His dad worked at AutoZone, and he was working at Chipotle.
The Chipotle thing threw me for a loop.
He just loves the game, and that's what he's been interviewed. Why did you keep going? How did you keep going? What was your motivation? He said, I love to play hockey. And I'm like, what's better than that? He's not 37. He's 27. He made it. He's a goalie. It's tough to make it as a goalie. And that's, buddy, I'm in the middle.
I love the kid interruptions.
Say
Awesome.
hi to Callum. Here, pop your head up just really quick. This was bound to happen.
Yeah.
My 4-year-old.
Hi, bud.
Can you hear them?
Oh, why am I that side?
I know, right? You're on my right, but it looks reversed. All right, go see Mom. She let one out of the kennel again. I'll be right up. I love it. I'll be right up. Go get ice cream or something.
That'll calm him down for another 10
30
minutes.
night, 4-year-old, whatever. M&M's got 'em.
Love
that's
it.
great. Sorry, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. No, talking about those guys, like, like a Brett Howden, for example.
Oh,
just
God,
able to, just, like, he was just electric with his finish, but like he's a very good NHL hockey player. But in the playoffs, I just saw like it kind of all come together, and like those like things should be, like you were saying, celebrated. Like those guys being able to get the opportunities consistently, get in those scoring positions or get those chances throughout the whole playoffs, and to bury. And he had some really good finishes. And I was like, I played with his brother, and like he's a great family, great great people. So you're rooting for guys like that, and Taylor Hall coming on, a bit like as a veteran. Then you get Stank Oven having like one of those.
I love how you call him Stank Oven.
Stanky. Yeah.
I tried to keep it together when you said that.
But
He said it like 3 weeks in a row.
I love it though.
I let him just go. I
Yeah,
love
you
him.
got it, yeah. It's like working. I love the guy with John Torchetti at the NHL Network. Some of the name he tried to say Kachekov once, and I actually asked him live on air if he was trolling me, like trying to get me to laugh on TV. And I didn't think I offended him though. I was like, no, I thought you were joking. He said, what's his name? And I love Torchetti. He's the man. Such a great dude. Yeah, Stankoven is. How'd you say it? Say it again.
Stank Oven.
Stank oven. Clean your oven.
Yeah, right.
He's got a stanky oven.
I love it though.
He must have had fish last night. The oven stinks.
But
he was unbelievable though. He's like a fire hydrant.
He's a
just winning
truck.
pucks, like, and that's what we talked about. It was like, you don't have to be the biggest, strongest, fastest guy. He uses his head, his body. He's strategic with his puck wins, and it was like really cool to see like him having that success, throughout the whole playoffs. But so him and Howden for me were like, kind of stood out as having not so much statistical. It was just like impacts on games in certain areas of the ice.
Yeah, and Jackson Blake was coming into his own. And like those two guys are signed for 8 years at really like manageable cap hits. Halsey's making nothing pretty much for what he's doing. And you looked at how he played all playoffs. He was a torpedo. He didn't care if he got suspended or hurt somebody. He was like, I am here to win now. I've been close before. I didn't think I'd ever get close again. He had, a nightmare of a situation in Chicago where they really mismanaged him. And he is very aware of what's going on around him, Taylor Hall. And he is somebody who's won a Hart Trophy. He's been first overall. He's won things internationally. Now he's a Stanley Cup champion. What a career. And he persevered through a lot of it. He had a scary situation with his knee. I mean, with him, it's unbelievable. You see Keandre Miller.
Remember his head? Remember when he got his head stepped on?
That's why we have some new rules in warm-up, because
that was scary.
And
that was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was in Edmonton. He was still in Edmonton.
Yeah. I think Witt was on the team with him. Because I remember like watching the game.
But he skates 300 miles an hour, so he's buzzing around. Some guys are just trying to
just warm up the mitts a little bit. Get the WD-40 going.
No, it is cool, but like Carolina, I mean, they have tons of space too. They can add.
Yeah.
And now I was down there for those games, and you can't get them on ESPN during the season. They don't think really much of them, and I think it opened ESPN's eyes. And talking with Sean McDonough, he's like, you can't get in the building for under $1,500, which is like New York money or LA money. Like, you couldn't get in near the building for under $1,500. The people were going bananas. You can't hear a thing because the arena is so loud. The ratings were off the charts. Like the game itself, because of what those two teams did in all playoffs long, really, it's in a really good spot.
Did you get any good golf in? Did you go to Vegas too?
I did not. I didn't go to Vegas just because I can't go away for 3 weeks with 5 kids. Like I'd have to find a new place. But I got to play Old Chatham a couple times, and there was another course I played. I actually played twice in one day. I played Old Chatham and Durham, went and did a 1-hour show, and then legit like ran to the next course.
That's great.
When I'm home, I can't. Although I did play today, but when I'm home, I don't really.
Yeah.
As much.
No, just like the whole atmosphere we were talking, we've talked about Carolina's passionate fans, like they treat it like college football or NASCAR, like they're tailgating and, right from the opening gates, and they come out hot. They had some really good starts at home due to their home ice and their fans, but that kind of like non-traditional hockey market and, just it growing and allowing that to be a feeder for even younger generations to come through. Like just when you're watching and you see the results of, years down the road of championships being won in that area. So 06 to now, and then it could continue to go.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be sweet if like a non-traditional hockey market in the next generation is considered like Mexico City or something though? Because
right.
Like this team won a cup 20 years ago and they won again. And I'm doing NHL Now shows before the puck is dropped in the building. And then the way we did it, because we had a bunch of analysts down there, I'd do like a 4 to 5 show, and then I'd go back on at 6. So I'd have an hour. I wouldn't really leave the set that was in the concourse. And you wouldn't believe the amount of people that were OG Whaler fans.
Yeah.
That were there. And I've had season tickets since day one fans.
That's awesome.
That were there. And I'm like, yeah, it's non-traditional in the sense that like there's no, power NCAA team down there, and kids aren't really ripping through prep schools in North Carolina, but it's getting better and better. And ideally, I think we all would love, every city in North America to have some sort of youth hockey program, right? I mean, It's harder because you got to get ice and it costs money, and it's not like you throw it up on a playground where there's 2 nets and you can play a basketball game, but it's not. I mean, maybe it never will get there, but that would be the coolest thing, I think, in my opinion. More kids that can play hockey would be the best thing ever. And it's the Florida teams and even Vegas, and Carolina, California when Wayne went there. Like it's getting there, and it's pretty sweet to see all these guys in the league with interesting birthplaces on their hockey DB page.
Yeah, no, that is for sure. And you look at the Phoenix and the Austin Matthews of the world and all these different guys coming out of those non-traditional places, which is really cool. Motts, I want to change it up a little bit and throw the My Hockey Rankings question of the week in here right now. So, Bri, you touched on Jordan Staal and just how much of an impact that he had. And I remember just playing against you. You were an unbelievable guy in the face-offs, right? Just battling, winning draws, just competing. And, obviously in your pro career, your NHL career, you were great at it. But the impact that Jordan Staal had, and, this is kind of more of a tip, but like, do you have any tips for young kids working on face-offs? And because it's such a value, right? You start with possession, and I find, and you coach at the youth level, which we're going to talk about, but like, I feel like there's a lot of kids that don't really, it's almost like they don't care. Right. It's like, oh, I lost the draw. Yeah. And that's something that I can remember you would be pissed if you lost the draw. And I know that you just look at the impact that Jordan Staal had. And, it really that's why it was part of why he was won the MVP of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Yeah.
And it's why he's used. He's got that big, long stride. He's not, obviously, he doesn't dart around like a Stanky Oven or a or even a Halsey, but he reads the game so well, and he's so powerful, but he wants to start with the puck. All right, if I know a guy can win a draw and I'm behind the bench, any important moment of the game, you're going on the ice to take that draw. Don't you want to be on the ice in any important moment of the game? Up a goal, down a goal, killing a penalty, on the power play? Like, he would stay on the power play if he won the draw.
Exactly.
If he lost it, he was getting off.
So it's like, there's your motivation, buddy. And
Yeah.
off the top of my head, I'd have to look again at all the goals he scored, but I know 3. Like he won a draw, went to the net.
Mm-hmm.
I tipped it.
But
Yeah.
one of them, he buried a guy in the corner and went to the net. So
Yeah.
again, it's the first.
The only
puck
other
battle.
one was that one where he was like falling down and kind of batted it, like he was that
Right.
that
he,
was
he
like
tripped himself, but then he killed.
tripped over his size 15s.
But face-offs, that's the first puck battle of every shift.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to win it. It's basically you and him, and you're pretty exposed if you lose it.
Yeah.
I remember waking up in the middle of the night. Either I lost a draw that game that night, or I had a nightmare that I lost a big draw.
Mm-hmm.
And I lost a draw in Game 6 against Washington when I was on Toronto, a team that I didn't have a lot of time with. I was there at the deadline, but they ended up. I mean, it wasn't like a shotgun loss and they scored, but I lost the draw and they scored and we lost the series. Season over.
Mm-hmm.
That was in 2018. Sorry, that was in 2017. So that's 9 years ago, and I can picture the whole play clear as day still. I just hated losing draws. And if you want me to give you a tip, it's, and when you're younger, it's maybe a little harder, but you have to use your leverage. So for me, I'd get as low as I could.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd find one move that's your best move, your power move or whatever it might be, and use it until it doesn't work. And then you work on different things. I worked on my forehand. I flipped my stick over and pretended I was a righty on my backhand on the right side of a left shot.
Yep.
You want to go backhand. I turned my hand over, and as soon as the ref's hand would come up, my stick blade would come up, and the ref would throw the puck down, and I'd try to meet the puck right at the ice. My head would be over the dot as much as I could, as much as the ref would allow me. And I just tried to rip their arms off.
Yeah.
With the puck, going back to my defenseman.
Yeah.
Love it.
And that was it to me. I watched, guys do it. You'd watch. There's an old Steve Yzerman like close up in the playoffs one year, where he's staring at the ref's hand like he was going to bite the guy's arm off.
Yeah.
And I was young when I saw it. That image never left.
Yeah. Well, that's a good one. And I wanted to mix it up a little bit for the My Hockey Rankings question of the week. And I think we got a great answer, Motts.
Yeah, it's amazing. Just like hearing, some of those little details. And, the first thing that I would always be like, just don't lose it, right? If you're don't have that power, or, as a young kid, have the tie, like come down hard on the stick. You can use your feet, whatever. But, I like what you said about find something that works and stick with it until it doesn't. And then you can adjust and look, is he a righty? Is he a lefty? Like, so who's cleaning me out tonight? Like you can make some adjustments eventually, but that focus on the puck, the timing, and then the strength of, the willingness not to get beat. Like you want to win. You want to win that first puck battle. I love that.
One other thing is, which hand does the ref drop the puck with?
Exactly.
If you picture the circle,
I never thought of that.
Right hand, it's going to go towards that. And if it doesn't, it's going to go flying somewhere. Yeah, they all drop it differently. Some are closer to their feet. Some are farther away where the puck could go towards the middle of the ice.
Holy.
All those things matter.
What about Aldo?
Aldo's retired now, isn't he? Hasn't he been asked to retire?
He was shooting some jump shots.
Oh, yeah.
He'd do it. No,
he's flipping it over to the shortstop like it's a double play.
Yeah, I was going to say he was very good at the no look or just the drive-by.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah.
Maybe put him up top as like an advisory role. Sort of like
Don't know who he'd be advising, but
it's called Gino.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Brian, let's switch gears a little bit because we don't want to take up a ton of your time. But you're coaching, right? You're coaching your own son. You're with the Breakers organization. It's great to look over, my couple times just seeing you in the rink, and it's always it's a blast. I know you got some great guys that you're coaching with, and guys like yourself giving back, right? Because they can, these kids and these parents can just soak in so much information from a guy like yourself.
Yeah, and some nights feel like you are giving back because it's the middle of the school year, the kids aren't listening as much, and you're tired, they're tired, but for the most part, honestly, and like you guys went through it too. I don't care how long you played or how high a level you played. When you take it seriously and you love the game as much as you guys do, when the game ends, it's difficult.
Yeah,
and even with guys who had done great things in their career, well beyond anything I could have imagined. For me, like 60, 70, $90 million guys, they need something. I'm so lucky that, Greg Carr at the Bay State Breakers and Jimmy Russo, Brian Woodford, those are the guys I coach with. They like brought me in to let me help out too, because like doing the analyst work has been awesome. It's a ton of fun. Staying around the NHL is great. Going to the Cup Finals and seeing different managers from different teams and scouts and just people running into people you haven't seen in 10 or 15 years. That's awesome. It's so much fun. But it didn't really scratch the itch as much as being on the ice with these kids and watching them get better and learning things and like working on something in practice and they put it into a game and they have success. I mean, I wear the losses too, guys.
I can imagine. You never took them lightly.
No, I can't. I'm like, what can we do? And I like call my coach the head coach on the way home. What do you think about this lineup? Or what if we do? I'm like, what are we doing on Tuesday? He's like, I don't know. We have another game tomorrow. Let's worry about it later. I love it, man. I love it, and I love talking to all different parents that played, parents that didn't play. Because maybe it's because our group is so good. The parents in our group are good. Greg's done great with that as well. He's, and I think this is how most programs should go. The hockey IQ kids, because Greg's done this for like 20 years. The hockey IQ kids that might not quite be there at Mite level or whatever, that you could tell love the game and work hard. He had a tendency to hold on to more of them, and they in turn have developed. I think he learned that through his coaching career. But I mean, my kid was probably a beneficiary of that. He started later. He's a big kid. He wasn't really that, he couldn't really skate, to be honest with you, like minor. And he's just like, I'm sticking with him because I think he can do it. I was nervous. I'm like, I don't want him to hate hockey if it's too much for him.
Yeah.
And a lot of the parents in our program understand that. If your kid isn't scoring or isn't producing, if he's a forward and he's not really having fun, he's getting down on himself, maybe it's time to go down a level. Like, that message is always clear and concise from Greg. Parents don't always love to hear it, but they end up coming to us in November, December, being like, this is the right move. He's having a blast.
Yeah.
All these things, I think, to wrap it up, like, I think the parents, especially in our team, know we really do want what's best for each individual kid.
Right.
When I played and I thought a coach wanted what was best for me, I played my best and I gave you everything I ever had. It was memorable. Like Mark Morris in the American League for the Manchester Marks is a guy. I mean, there's a lot of them. I know Torts did too. Mike Sullivan, like these guys, I knew they wanted what was best for me. I'm trying to just take what I learned from those guys and give it to these, I started when they were 7.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they're better than we were when we were that age. You might as well give them a little bit more information, and they're handling it great. It's so much fun to do. It's so much fun to do.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. And like you're saying about taking bits and pieces of what you experienced, like some good, some bad, and and then presenting it with your own personality. And that's the fun part about being able to play and have those experiences. But then the reward, when you were talking about like seeing some of the the development in season, it's like amazing, whether it be execution and practice, like good flat passes, or then you start adding something else on there, but then they can apply it to a game, and that makes them feel good, makes you feel good. Like that was the reward that I got, and it's something that it is pretty amazing when you see that kind of transformation, and at your son's age group, like it happens like pretty quickly. It keeps stacking. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and how about this? How about like a 10-year-old who's he's struggling and he's down on himself and his confidence is not there, and then you see him working hard in practice and then it pays off for him. Like, what a life lesson! Like, I want these kids to dream about playing in the NHL, and I'm not going to say don't dream about playing in the NHL, like, because I remember everybody that said that to me. And who am I to say? I don't know what's going to happen. I know it's very low odds that any of these guys play Division I college hockey, but I'm not going to say you can't do what you're dreaming of doing. So the kid who's down on himself, or he's putting too much pressure on himself, or his confidence is shot, that works himself out of it, like, what a life lesson it is for them when they're young adults, when they're adults, when they go through a hard time, when they have young kids. Like, I don't think you get that in many other sports. And when their teammates try to pull them up through it together, that's a really cool thing to do too. Like, really, really unbelievable to watch. And we can just sit back and be like, we're lucky to coach this team.
That's amazing.
What's
hockey.
yeah, that is hockey. How is any challenges coaching your own son?
Yeah, I mean,
because we get the question all the time, so it's good to hear from another guy as well.
Yeah, so I don't know where I heard it first, but I know I've heard it several times. And he, like on the ride there and the ride home, he drives the bus with the conversation. If he wants to talk about what happened at school or his buddy or what we can do after the game, I'll talk about all that because he's a kid. If he wants to talk about hockey, great. We'll talk about hockey as long as you want. And coaching him, unfortunately for him, he is not getting away with anything. But he's not going to get away with anything anyway. He's bigger than everybody else.
Yeah.
And he wears 87. He's best friends with Sid. So, but he's like, he works hard. And I don't have to tell him to work, which is a cool thing. So I can push the other guys. If he has bad body language or he's not being a great teammate, he gets it the worst of everyone, which I think ultimately will make him better in the long run. But if I'm going to come down on all the other kids in a certain way, I got to make sure I give him a little bit more. And like in the Town Cup games, he's had 2 good games. And I had to whisper in his ear today, I'm like, you're not getting – they give out these medals for first and second star and third star, and it comes to the coaches and we have to pick them.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're not getting 1 medal.
No.
You're not going to be on the ultimate. You're not getting a plaque. Like, you're just not. There's none of that here because I don't want any kid to come up to you and be like, oh, you really got it. Because you know what I mean? So I try to protect them from some stuff, but I also – these kids, man, you guys – how I want to die and come back as them because they're so spoiled. So you got to make it hard on them somewhere.
Right.
How great is that Town Cup setup? It's pretty cool. You know, I remember coming back and maybe I was still playing, but I was playing in it, and then I was coaching my son and my daughter both. It was like a really cool setup to be able to be around that and have the camaraderie of like the town pride and whatnot. So it's actually pretty cool.
Do they still do the overage group?
No, they went away with it. They did. Maybe it was like 4 or 5 years ago, but yeah, I wouldn't be lumbering around out there. Maybe I'd go and hang out in the locker room and shower with the guys or something.
Coaching.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's as the kids get a little older, I think they're playing in what they think are really important tournaments in different parts of North America, which, I mean, there's so much good hockey here. I'm all for a boys trip and getting out with your son and going to a hotel and playing a few games and having a few pops and letting the kids play mini sticks. That's great. Like 6 times a summer, I think you're out of your mind.
Yeah.
So you just shoot down the bog. It's 1 game a night. We got, Monday through Friday. We had Tuesday off. So we go, this week. And then the semis and the finals are on Friday. If they win, they get to go in the Hingham 4th of July parade and they're on a float. It's like
so cool.
My son, he goes to Catholic school in Hingham. He plays on the Breakers. A bunch of kids play with Timmy Level and Joey Level over at Level. So I'm like, I want you guys to get together and get to know each other and play. You're from the same town. And so it's great for my son, for him. I think it's great for all the kids. And then they get to play baseball together. And you're making more friends. And I mean, we have 8 forwards and 5D. I number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They just rip through. There's no bench shortening going on. They just go out and play. They work hard. And then what a good sign of kids are having fun is when you have to go down to the locker room like the 3rd time and be like, hurry up, dude. Get out of here. We got to get home. So that part alone is why I think it's worth it.
Right. No, it is it's awesome. And I appreciate you touching on, and I think I already know this answer, but your philosophy as a hockey dad, right? Like, is it, like you just said, right? The 6 tournaments all over North America. Like, what, have you transformed your mindset at all? Like, where are you at with it?
You know what? I'm fine with, if you want to play a ton of hockey, I think you should take a month and not really skate much. My guy had like a little recess injury, and he actually was off for 5 weeks. And the doctor said 4. I kept him off an extra week, and he literally like cried his eyes out. I have ice every Sunday at Pilgrim, and I'm like, you're not going. We'll go next week. He was bawling his eyes out, and I'm like, that's great. That's perfect. Yeah. I didn't love it at the time. I don't want him to be sad, but I want him to miss it.
Right.
You have to play other sports, a multitude of other sports. You have to, if you want to be good at hockey.
Yeah.
But that's not just people saying it. It's like 96% of the NHL right now played at least one other sport till they were 16. So it's not just me saying it. But if you got a kid who's a psycho, and I was kind of one of those who was like 18 months old watching Sports Desk so I could see a 5-minute clip of the Bruins game, and he just begs to play. Yeah, I mean, I give him the opportunity as long as they work hard, they're grateful for it, and understand. Don't spoil them, but it's okay to miss it a little bit. My philosophy as a hockey dad is like, my goal was, I want my kid to be banging down the door to get in the car to go to the rink, and I want him to hate to leave the rink. I don't care how that happens. I want him to love the game as much as I do because it's been so great to me.
That's awesome. Yeah, it is. Really. It kind of like you hit the nail on the head with, just the approach. But I think that final message there is what most parents should listen to and take. And you don't really care how it happens. It's just you want it to come from them, not from you. So that's the most important thing.
Motts losing Motts, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Motts, how about the other night I walk in the house and what Joanna's got a show on the TV and I see this guy doing some acting.
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Tell me about it. I gotta.
Oh yeah. Legit. I'm like, I thought it was the NHL Network at first because it was Boyler and Rupper. And I'm like, wait, what is this? Oh, it's a show about hockey and off campus, right? Is that the name of it?
Yeah.
So I literally, I turned it on the other night in bed because I'm like, I gotta like watch. I watched about 10 minutes and then fell asleep. But the guy's an actor now too.
Oh, add it to the resume. Handsome, good golfer, accomplished NHL career, BC Eagle. Actor? I mean, what are we doing here? Father of 5?
Yeah. Good friend of mine, Neil Flaherty, lives in Hingham. He, he's executive producer. He's been in Hollywood. He's done a bunch of different projects, movies. He's been on like that you've heard, like Monster in Law, Just Friends. Like he's done really well. And I didn't really even know this about him because he didn't ever say that. His kid's the same age as my oldest, and we were trying to figure out ways to get all these Hingham kids on the ice together. So I opened up a LLC and I started making my own camps and did some like just scrimmages and put some kids together and just for a skate where there's zero pressure. We got pizza delivered to the rink after right at Pilgrim. Oh, it was great. But he was like, he handed me this book once. He goes, take this down to NHL Network and take a photo and just send it to me. So I did. And it's like a Gossip Girl, like Dawson's Creek sort of genre. And
not gonna lie, I'm a big fan of really those shows.
Yeah. So, anyways, my wife gets a hold of the book because it's just in my car after that because I don't read. She's like opening it up and she's like, "What is this?" She was horrified. I'm like,
she's like, "Who are you?"
I'm like, I didn't read it. Anyways,
I swear.
He calls me. He's like, "All right, we're doing this." I'm like, "What are we doing?" He's like, the show got green lit, not a pilot. The first season, green lit, right through Amazon. I'm like, oh, sweet. Congrats, man. He goes, I'm coming down to the network. When do you work next? He hands me a script, hands it to Rupper. And we had to do this like 3-minute skit on this kid. It took us like 25 minutes. We could not stop laughing. It is not, acting is not something I can do. It was like set up for me to be able to do it easily, and I still couldn't. We were like coming up on Showtime for like the real show in the studio, and he's like, "You got to get this." I'm like, I can
That's unbelievable.
Oh, but then I didn't. So the other thing is, I didn't read the book. I didn't read the script. I didn't realize it was a little more risque than I thought it was going to be. So, anyways, I didn't tell anyone. I guess I've been found out.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
There you go, exposed.
I love it. Yeah, but But BY
You know
and
I'm going upstairs after this interview. I'm going to be watching it.
BY and I had to do a commercial at one point, and
Oh yeah, we were awful.
awful. Like
It
it's
was every Hockey East game on Friday night too.
I know, and everyone's like texting you. I was like, "Holy cow!" Like, it was emerald green, and BY nailed it. You know,
Oh
like
yeah.
you know it was just like a cleaning service and whatnot. So, but that popped up somewhere. Someone sent it to me. I was like, you know, we were in suits, but like when you have to deliver lines,
Oh,
I mean, I was like, holy cow,
Dude, I would be working as a police officer in the station on Friday night in Hockey East, and then people would be looking at me and being like, "Wait, it is," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Ah, no, it's my stunt
Yeah.
double."
yeah, you're a movie star.
They're like, "How much did you get paid for that?" I'm like, "Not much. Clearly, I'm here on a Friday night."
Yeah, Hackey, sorry. Hats off to those thespians.
Yeah, those talented ones.
Yeah,
Exactly.
guys.
Well, Brian, this has been great. We appreciate you taking the time to, to join us, talk NHL, talk coaching, and we'll hopefully we can get you on before the 580th episode or something.
Just one or two more presidents later, and I'll hop back on with you guys. Keep this thing going, though. Listen, you guys done great. It's awesome. Happy for you guys. I think you're hitting an awesome market to try to keep people sane. I love the mailbags too. Great stuff. Good stuff, boys.
We'll have to have you on for one soon.
Oh, I'll answer some questions.
Yeah. Definitely. Just snap it around.
Hell yeah.
It's so good. Hey, let's get out on the course soon.
I'm ready. I'm dialed. I'm getting a new hybrid. That's how old I am now.
Yeah. You go hybrid off the T280?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. Good stuff. All right, Motts, we are back. Episode 283 of the Rink Shrinks. What do you say? You ready to go?
Let's go.
This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Head over to the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get in on all the excitement that is the NHL. Motts, the Stanley Cup was just awarded, but do you have a favorite / underdog that you like to win the Cup next year? We got some early odds out there, some good value. What are you thinking?
You know what? Going down the list here, I would have to go with the value of the Minnesota Wild at plus 1,300.
Chucking the Wild out there. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I like how their roster is constructed. They had a great finish to the season. They're just gonna learn from their playoff experiences, in my opinion. Boldy, you got Quinn Hughes. The pieces are there. They got great goaltending. Just not as great as it should have been in the playoffs, but that happens. But I like the Minnesota Wild at plus 1,300 lock. I mean, we're locking it in, right?
Yeah, you can lock it. You can lock it. You'll probably change it 10 times before then. But, there are some great odds out there. I'm going to go in the East. I'm going to go over to the Montreal Canadiens at plus 2,500. So we got one West team. We got one Eastern team. So head to the FanDuel Sportsbook app and get in on all the action, right? NHL just ended, but you can throw a couple long shots out there. You know what I mean? You throw a buck or two on the Habs or the Wild, and you never know. You're laughing. You're laughing a year from now.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, I forgot all about that bet.
Yeah, and then you're cashing it in. As far as those two teams, though, good young talent, gained a lot of playoff experience over this past year. So I think I like your call. I like my call too. So let's do it.
I like it. All right. Well, we have a good action-packed episode here. We got a great interview with Brian Boyle that we're coming up. But let's quickly recap the weekend. Did you do anything? You get out on the links. You got a nice little tan going.
Yeah, so kind of out of the blue, I was invited onto a boat for a fishing tournament.
Nice.
Yeah, beautiful day. Ida McRae, super guy out of Green Harbor. I was, I'm not a sea dog. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah,
I'm more of a landlubber.
More of a street dog.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So, as far as getting on on the boat, you're trolling, you're buzzing around.
Did you
But
get any Dramamine going?
I was gonna say I went to CVS, wiped them out of Dramamine,
Okay, yeah.
the little wrist rockets or whatever they're called.
Yeah, there's the wrist things you can use now.
Yeah, the wristbands. But up early Saturday morning out there for it was probably about I don't know 10 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, and I didn't do a ton. Not meaning like I didn't. Well, I didn't catch.
You're a
anything.
locker room guy.
Yeah, but it was the most tired I've been in as long as I could remember.
Really?
Being in the sun, just like I was exhausted, and the guys had to go out the next day. I wasn't invited because I brought like bananas in my pockets or something like that, like not catching any fish. I was like the cooler, but no, but no, at the end of it, it was an awesome day. Beautiful to be out there on the water, and I did a great job at organizing a tournament. Created like an app and all this stuff, so it was like a live leaderboard. But the biggest fish for a stripe was 49 and an eighth. Huge,
Really?
huge. So just as far as getting out there and enjoying myself, I did that over the weekend. I had to recover over the next couple days, but it was great.
You just never know what Motts is going to get into. A fishing tournament. Didn't catch any fish, but that's I mean, that sounds cool. I'm not, like you said, I would have had to load up on the Dramamine. I think 10 hours on a boat, that's probably my entire life, the amount of time I've spent on a boat.
Yeah.
It's not my thing. I'm more of a land guy or a beach guy, but oh, that's great. I was down in the Green Harbor area on Saturday. I should have, you were out at sea, but ended up just popping over the beach, spent a couple hours there, which is like you said, it was a beautiful weekend here and nice to kind of unwind and get the toes in the water.
Yeah, exactly. The weather has been really nice. It was actually pretty hot, like on land. So like on the water, you get the breeze, and I guess
how far out do you go?
The criteria on it was up to Situate, down to Barnstable, 5 miles out. Was the max. So like there was a bunch of guys buzzing around, and it was just a great day. But you don't realize that you're getting torched because because it's not. You have the nice breeze, or if you're moving, you have kind of that type of breeze. But it was an awesome day. Grabbed some pizzas from the Venus after.
Bonus.
And then bounced back. I was in bed by like 8:30, like pause up. Like a full night's sleep too.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's exhausting and pretty cool. Get out there on the water. It's a fun time of year, like you said, to get out there and go from there. But let's talk a little Stanley Cup. Speaking of being paused up, you were texting me Sunday night while the Canes clinched it. I'm not gonna lie, I went to bed at 2-0. At third period, I'm like, I did the old, the 4:45 alarms coming quick. I was tired. I'm like, I just got to go up. I always do the famous, I'm going to watch it in bed. And,
yeah, then you're out
by the 15-minute mark, when the period starts, I'm already done. So, but it was a great series. Obviously I watched the third period after the next day, and, pretty cool watching the highlights. And, I got a couple different things to talk about. I took some pictures of that I saw online, but what did you think about the overall series and ultimately Carolina winning?
Well, as we talked last week, it's such an entertaining, two teams because they're evenly matched. And as we get into it with our guest, the energy level kind of seemed to wane a little bit on Vegas's side, but ultimately I think the better team won, even though they were so evenly matched. And that entertainment value for me, like the momentum swings and the plays made me under pressure, and just guys elevating their games. The Brett Howdens on Vegas, Stank Oven on Carolina. you love it. So as far as them, Carolina being able to kind of hoist the cup with, a guy like Jordan Staal
Yeah.
playing such an integral role, and just looking at Rod Brindamore's passion, like for his club, and like how you want to play for a guy like that, because you know that he cares. And then he was just saying about Stahl in particular, that's what he wants everyone to see, how valuable he was to our group. And I thought that was like a really nice, cherry on the top for number one, him personally, but them as a group, because they had the buy-in and you could see it. And it was pretty neat to see, them just close it out. They were suffocating down the stretch there. And when I was texting you, I was like, this is, Vegas had a chance on the PP in the third. They needed to score. It was probably like 13 minutes left. And they shut it down, and that was pretty much game over for me too. Like I was like, wow, they didn't get much after that.
Yeah, it was great. It was great to see the interviews and Brindamore, and obviously winning it there as a player in 06 and being the captain of that team, but then winning it and just making it all about the guys, right? Like he really tried to, take away the limelight from himself and like just deflect it to the guys, and just so happy for this group. And I just love those quotes. And what about Brandon Bussi? Like just talking, and I love this stuff because it's relevant and it's new. And they're new players, they're younger guys, and like we can talk as older guys and talk about our paths. But like you look at, I took a couple pitches from Stop at Goaltending, which Brian Decord, obviously we had him on the show, and his son Joey as well. But and Bussi trained with them throughout his years here in Boston and everything. I think he worked with them when he wasn't working at Chipotle. But a guy, just his story as he came in, right? And it was a couple things I want to highlight, right? So it was friendly reminder that Brandon Bussi played 111 AHL games, was claimed off waivers by the Canes, right? He was signed by Florida this year, became the fastest goalie in NHL history to 10 wins. Is now the first undrafted goalie to make his first career playoff start in the Stanley Cup Final, and he won, right? And there was a great quote from him: maybe just never give up. Having fun with it. I'm having a blast. As long as you're having fun, there's no need to stress about anything. And I love it. Like he's got his own little charity thing. He's grateful. He's a kid that, or not a kid, but a guy. I think is the hats that he sells, the merchandise that goes to a charity. It's like House is Money. Just really interesting story. A guy that just paid his dues and just worked and stayed with it and didn't the moment wasn't too big for him, right? Like, so it was really cool.
Well, so we were talking, a couple of weeks ago about main camp and rookie camp out in Chicago, and talking with Bobby Gifford, our GM, and talking with one of the parents of a goaltender.
Yeah.
They're just like kind of like talking about some of the goalies that are in the playoffs. And his story is crazy. Not crazy. It's like awesome.
Yeah.
For an example, like, so to your point, so he played for the New Jersey Titans in the NAL, like 15 games or so. And then he gets traded to another team in the NAL, then in Amarillo, plays another year, and then he has to go to the NCDC, which is some consider a step below, or like kind of like a
right.
And then he goes into the USHL in Muskegon and goes to Western Michigan.
Right.
So like believing in his game and just putting the time in and not getting frustrated, and continually to have the positive attitude of no matter where he's playing, he has to produce. And then that kind of bleeds into, he had a great career at Western Michigan.
Yeah.
And then you have, kind of a similar path where he earned everything. Like he goes, Providence, he's down the East Coast League, back in Providence, picked up on waivers, but just that believability in your own, mental and physical ability, and then just like trusting the process. And he got rewarded big time because of that preparation, and then the opportunity arises, and he was there to meet the challenge. So super great story.
No, it really is. It's awesome. There's a bunch of them too. There's a few others, but before TSR Hockey up in tax-free Salem, New Hampshire, where you can get all your equipment. I talked about getting the swag, getting the T-shirts, the jerseys, the hats, all that stuff up there for the guys that I get the camp coming up down in Nantucket in a couple of weeks. with my brother and the crew down there. So, they just do it right. They do it. They, quick turnaround times, and really enjoy working with those guys and love getting up to the store too. So if you're in the Salem area, New Hampshire, or any of their locations, make sure you swing by. And if not, go to tsrhockey.com.
Yeah, great people taking care of great hockey people. So make sure you check out tsrhockey.com if you're not in the area. If you are in the area, tax-free Salem, New Hampshire, tell them the Shrink sent you.
A couple Chicago Steel guys, but another one I wanted to highlight, right? Jackson Blake was an elite mid-round find by the Canes. This is a tweet from Cam Robinson. And he took the hard road to get there. Shattuck cut him in his U16 team in favor of 4 other forwards. All right. So he didn't make the national program, didn't make the whatever it was, right? Everybody thinks their hockey career is over at 16 years old. He gets cut from Shattuck, which is obviously an elite storied prep school out in Minnesota. Now 2 of those kids play Division III. 1 retired out of the North American Hockey League, and 1 is playing U Sports, which is, more or less club hockey. Blake just led the Stanley Cup winning team in scoring. How you handle adversity is everything. So I just thought it was great stuff. I know he went on. Blake played in Chicago, right, along with Slavin. Those guys, a couple Chicago Steel guys, and it's just, you love those underdog stories. Blake was a real difference maker. Obviously, his father was a pro, was a longtime professional NHL player, but didn't get frustrated, didn't cash it in just because he didn't make a team at 16 years old. He just worked, right? He competed, ended up playing for the Chicago Steel. Went to North Dakota, his freshman year. I don't think it was a great season. By his sophomore year, he was a Hobey Baker finalist. Now he's a Stanley Cup champion. So really another, there's so many cool ones, but you just love that stuff.
Yeah, and if you just look at statistics, and they don't tell the whole story, but his first year in Chicago, he had 17 points.
Mm-hmm.
But he only played 25 games, which, there's something there.
Yep.
But they win the Clock Cup, and they're, poised to have him take that next step. So just
right.
knowing you put your time in a little bit, maybe you wanted a little bit more. This is speaking from experience.
Yeah.
But then the next time you come around, it's like graduating seniors, right? So then the sophomores have to step up, the juniors, to be seniors and be leaders and have that responsibility. And then he had a great year, breakout year, and he had a good freshman year, really good freshman year at North Dakota, and then just kept getting better in that confidence. And you even saw it in the playoffs this year. He kind of came out on the side of being that mismatch nightmare that we talk about a lot, with him and Taylor Hall. And you just have these guys that can play the game and were around the puck, not even just, producing offensively, but doing things correctly all over the ice. So it was really cool to see.
No, it's cool to see, and I should take that back. That his freshman year, he didn't exactly light it up because he had 42 points in 39 games. I just remembered seeing something that, he paid his dues and worked, but by his sophomore year, obviously, he ended up with 60 points in 40 games. So the kid can play. He's not terrible at all. And Jacob Slavin becomes the first American since Ken Morrow in 1980 to win the Olympic gold and the Stanley Cup. Obviously, it could have gone either way, right? With Eichel and Hannafin being on the U.S. team, and if Vegas had won it. So that's a really cool story. And talk about a guy that just knows his game. Another Chicago Steel guy, unbelievable stick, just killing plays all over the ice.
Yeah, just if you're an average hockey fan and you're not really familiar on value, he is so valuable every time he's on the ice. He's nondescript, you could say, but he's an elite defender because he's in good position with a good stick, and then with the puck, he just makes the simple plays, and that is so valuable at any level, especially at the highest level.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's good stuff. So I think Carolina, right? They got a ton of cap space. They locked up Blake and Stankoven, your boy, and all these different guys for long-term deals on pretty low cap hits, and they're definitely a team that's in the mix to repeat, and they've been in the mix, ever since Brind'Amour has been a coach. So they're an exciting team to watch. I mean, we got to tip our caps to Vegas. Obviously, Mitch Marner was unbelievable all playoffs. They ran out of gas there at the end. I think some injuries took place, right? You saw William Karlsson get hurt. I think it came out that he had a broken wrist. You knew Noah Hannafin, another former guest of the show, he was dinged up. It looked like a shoulder type situation for him. And, Mark Stone, guys like that. So it was, they were a fun team to watch. And it really was like, ending in, I mean, we thought it was going 7, right? I think you predicted that Vegas was going to that Carolina was going to win that game on Sunday night. Yeah. But
but it all was,
it was all off of the other games that were taking place. And I don't think when we recorded last week, we thought we would be sitting here talking about game 7.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it was while we were recording, game 5 was going. It was kind of back and forth at that point, but I just felt Carolina had that, no matter win or lose, they were going into Vegas to make sure it went 7 or they're winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And it ended up working out that way. But what a great, time of year to be a hockey fan, like all the way back to the first round where you're watching like 2 to 3 games a night.
Every night.
And then you just can't wait, for like they had an extra day of rest. I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
I gotta watch the NBA or
But that was pretty exciting though too.
Exactly. No, it's good stuff. Motts, what do you say? Let's send it over to Brian Boyle. He we recapped the NHL, the playoffs with him. It was really awesome. He's doing great work on the NHL Network and everything, and he's coaching now. So our original guest on the Rink Shrinks, and he's
number one
for more. So it was great to catch up with him. But before we do, Franklin Sports, when the ice melts, you keep playing with Franklin Sports. Take the game from the rink to the driveway with Franklin Sports street hockey gear, perfect for wherever your crew drops the puck. Head to franklinsports.com and use our code TRS15 for 15% off your purchase. Play all year with Franklin Sports. Motts, always great catching up with Big Brian Boyle, just a great dude, guy that we grew up, playing against. Obviously, he's a little younger than you. He's a little younger than me, but he's just now he's in it. He's got 5 kids of his own. He's coaching his son's team. He's doing the NHL Network and traveling around doing that stuff. But he's just he's a great resource and a great hockey mind.
No, he's great. Number one, we talk about good people, and he touched on a few things, and you can just see that he cares about the game. Number one, he's just a good person, comes from a great family.
Yeah.
And he's a good person to give back to the game and give back to the kids. And you just hear it in his voice how excited he is. He's around the game. He's working at the highest level, doing the analyst stuff, but just getting in the ranks, and that's when he's alive. And that just shows the passion that he has for it. And he's one of the better guys out there that really his story is great. We talked about it in episode 1, but first rounder, and found his way into, kind of, adapting to being a bottom 6 checker, face-off guy. Like we talked about face-offs.
Like we talked about in the My Hockey Rankings question of the week with him.
Yeah. And then he even played D, and it's like,
remember that experiment.
So just doing whatever it took to add value to the team, but just be a good teammate. And, it's pretty obvious when you talk to him how excited he is about coaching his age group there with his guys. So great. And I'm pumped that he was number 1 and he came back, and he just had to like refine his game a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, we sent him down in the minus for a couple of years.
For 283 episodes.
Oh, exactly. No, like you said, though, the passion he has for coaching. I love how he just hit on, just talking about like the reward that he gets, right? When kids do something, they implement it and they get better, and then they get the results in a game, or kids fighting it. And, he talked about kids having a hockey sense and, sticking with those type of kids. And, and just like you said, you can feel his passion for the game of hockey every time you talk to him. And, the last time I caught up with him, I was over at the Bean Pot, and it's just a great, you kill an intermission talking to a guy like him, right? Just because you're talking youth hockey, you're talking NHL, you're talking everything. So just a good dude, and we appreciate him taking the time with us. Motts, now it's time for Motts Moment Lock of the Week, presented by FanDuel. Motts 18-22 with Carolina, winning Game 6 this Friday. We're going to the World Cup. Have you been watching any of the World Cup?
Yeah, it's been pretty cool for me.
Yeah.
Just talking to people about the similarities between, approach, soccer and hockey, right? Playing with, Europeans and the strategy behind it, but like the passion behind it, the fans and, everyone is dialed in. I've watched
what they're doing in the city of Boston.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like this, I mean, the place is humming. I know, just talking to guys and everybody, but downtown is like an absolute. It's awesome. Like the video of Connor Hardy, a buddy of mine, playing soccer with the fans there was like really viral, and just shows like the excitement that's around the city, right? Like it's really cool.
And then the street drummer with a bagpiper.
Yeah, exactly.
So
another
cool.
buddy of mine walked, they did the walk through over to Fenway. So he was kind of leading that march all the way across, through downtown over to the Fenway area, which was, I think that was last, is that Sunday or Monday? Or, it was over the weekend, but just really cool to see the people like the from different backgrounds come to the city. Boston's really humming just with the teams here. So it has been cool. And then I watched a little bit of Messi.
Oh yeah.
I think that was Tuesday night. I think he had a hat trick. So no big deal.
Yeah. Not terrible.
Especially,
like when you see like a 4-1 game, that's a blowout. That's like
I know. Yeah.
8-2 or 8-1, whatever hockey wise, but that's domination, and he's the best in the world, and he showed it.
Yeah. Well, let's get back to the question, right? This Friday afternoon, World Cup stage, we got USA and Australia. Who do you like? USA had a big win. That was exciting. That game was Friday night. So USA, Australia, we got US is -170, Australia is +400, and the tie is +350. What do you like, kid?
A home soil that we playing in Seattle. I got USA. The tie is like interesting, but that's at +350. That's kind of like,
Yeah.
I know you don't want to take one side or the other. Plus,
you're laying some money on the line.
Yeah, for sure. And I think with the cool part about watching some of the stuff, the Argentinian coach, his name's escaping me right now, but he's the U.S. coach, so he's from Argentina.
Yeah.
And do you know where he got his inspiration from? Did you see this?
Rink Shrinks?
That would have been great. And it's amazing because I watched it the night before, but it was from Miracle.
Really?
Yeah, and he's like, this team has to, kind of.
Alan said it was Pachetto.
Oh, yeah. Even if I knew the name, I couldn't pronounce it.
Yeah, it sounds like something you'd throw in a sandwich.
Yeah. I will say it was pretty neat because he was passionate about it, and he's like, these guys all bought in and believed to play as a team representing your country, and everything that Herb Brooks did with that team in 1980, and the parallels. Hopefully they can pull something off like that. But I'm taking USA at -170 on Friday afternoon against Australia. Lock it in.
Lock it in. I love it. Let's go USA. World Cup has been a blast to watch, so make sure you head to the FanDuel Sportsbook app and lock that in for Mott's Moment Lock of the Week. That wraps things up. Thanks again to Brian Boyle, and thanks to everybody for listening. Don't forget to hit subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, write a review. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. Next week's we'll be back with the mailbag episode, so send in rinkshrinks@gmail.com. Any questions? Let's try to make them not so long so we don't have to do a ton of reading. Or you can hit us up on the Instagram at the Rink Shrinks. So make sure you submit those questions. It'll be a great time to chat. We'll keep it short and sweet and talk about some of those questions. So thanks to everybody again. The show is presented to you by FanDuel, and it's time to cue the Rink Shrinks Shuffle, Jersey.